So, welcome. As I said, this is our student welcome assembly for Quad 2. And to kick us off now officially, we would like to start with a land acknowledgement.
We would like to acknowledge.
We would like to acknowledge.
We would like to acknowledge that the land on which we gather here today
was used by the Haudenosaunee,
Anishinaabe, and Neutral people.
We also acknowledge the enduring presence
and deep traditional knowledge,
les lois et les philosophies traditionnelles
of the indigenous people
with whom we share this land today.
With whom we share this land today.
With whom we share this land today.
Morning, everyone. It's hopefully you're watching this on November 17th. We'd like to welcome you to Quadmester 2 in the Distance Learning Program. My name is Jennifer Shortreed, and I'm the principal of the Secondary Distance Learning Program. We've grown exponentially from Quadmester 1 with over 4,000 students in the program. So we're so grateful to have you join us. We're happy to introduce those of you who are new to virtual learning to a new style of learning. There is a lot more responsibility on you as a student. However, you still have that live relationship with your teacher where they're there to assist you. So I want to assure everyone that our commitment with our teachers in the program is to you, the learner, and for the administration, on behalf of administration, that we really want you to be successful in this format. We feel like if you explore the tools that it will be available to you and your teacher this quadmester, you may enjoy it more than you have in your virtual experiences in the past. So welcome everybody to Quadmester 2. So excited to get started with you and continue our learning adventure.
Hi everyone, my name is Sandy Miller and I am one of the VPs for the distance learning program. I will be responsible for the students with last names starting A to K. Prior to being a VP with this program, I was lucky enough to work with Jen as a VP at SJM for 3 years. And before becoming a VP, I was a student leadership and phys ed teacher.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Distance Learning Program. My name is Carrie Behrens. I'm the Vice Principal for letters L to Z. And before coming over to Distance Learning, I was at Forest Heights for 2 years and Eastwood prior to that. I look forward to working with you and meeting you.
Hello, everyone. I'm Gina Lammel, and I'm a part-time Vice Principal in this program. Prior to coming to the Distance Learning Program, I was a Vice Principal at Preston High School, Kitchener Waterloo Collegiate, KCI, and then at Galt Collegiate. I'm part-time in this program, so I'll be supporting students with the last name starting L to Z on Thursdays only.
For us in the virtual learning environment, fostering a trusting relationship between teacher and classmates is a high priority for us. We want you to feel comfortable connecting and interacting in the virtual classrooms. You'll be able to participate with video, voice, chats, and collaborative documents and assignments. Make sure you are sometimes doing so synchronously every day and at the same time as everyone else. That will make everything a bit more of a vibrant learning program, and you will find it much more enjoyable than last year's distance learning program, we hope. We want our teachers to understand each student's unique abilities, goals, and circumstances. We're asking them to remain flexible and accommodating so they can empower you in your learning and in pursuing your interests. Online education can allow you to explore your learning in new ways that are not actually accessible in the traditional classroom. I do want to stress the importance of communication. We need you to communicate with us. The pace can move very quickly in a quadmester, so staying in touch with your teacher or your distance learning vice principal shouldn't feel overwhelming. It's okay to not feel comfortable and to communicate it. In so many ways, we are all learning in this program together, principal, vice principal, teacher, and student. So tell us what works and what doesn't, and we'll all grow, change, and support each other in our learning. We also want you to feel that your experience is similar to that of the at-home days for our students who chose to return to our school sites. For this reason, your teacher will follow the same school day. Start at 8:30 and end at 2:15. Sometimes during the school day, your teachers will be live with you in group tasks, individual chats, and sometimes you'll be working from home more independently, knowing that the teacher is a quick call, Google Meet, or email away. Mr. Mill will go through this schedule in a little more detail. I wanted to end with where I began. Welcome. We are so glad you're here, and we are so glad that you're ready to get started with us.
Okay, thanks, Ms. Shortreed. As she said, I'm going to run through what a typical day will look like for you in the distance learning program. As you can see on the screen, the typical day will start at 8:30 and run till 2:15, just as it does in a face-to-face school. To give you a better sense of what to expect in the distance learning program, we've asked some students to share their experiences from Quad 1, so let's have a look at the video.
Hi, I'm Chloe, and my friends and I are going to tell you a little bit about what life in distance learning is like and any tips or experience that we have after completing Quadmester 1.
I'm Alex, and I'm a grade 10 student in the distance learning program.
Hi, my name is Anne. I'll just be answering some questions for this video.
First, we're going to explain what a typical day in distance learning looks like. Now, this varies from class to class. It depends on what your teacher wants to do. It's largely up to them. But this is just in general and in our experience, what a typical day in distance learning looks like.
And so a typical day, usually right when I wake up, I check Brightspace to see if there's any emails from my teachers. And if not, then I join the Google Meet from Brightspace at around 8:30 every morning. At 10:30, we have the earliest lunch break ever for around 45 minutes, and then we come back at 11:15.
Every day, you have a certain amount of work to complete, as Alex mentioned, that you get in the morning, and you also have a certain number of hours of synchronous learning that you also do.
It's either a lot of synchronous learning or a lot of asynchronous learning. They don't really there's not a lot of each. For example, if you have a Google Meet once in the morning and then once after lunch, you probably won't get too much homework because you've already spent most of your day in class. If you only have one Google Meet, you'll probably get more homework because, you're still learning the same material.
Between 12 and 1 o'clock, we're done the synchronous portion, and then we get an assignment, or maybe even a test to do, and it's due the following day, so we have the whole evening to work.
Well, now that you've heard from a few students of what to expect in a typical day in the DLP, we also thought it would be good to share what you can expect from a teacher's perspective. So have a listen to Mr. Hahn, who's going to walk you through what a typical day will look like in his class.
Typical day in DLP, what I'll do is I will sign in first thing in the morning, and I will check my email to see if students have emailed me in the course. I'll also check my Gmail, and I'll check Google Hangouts because oftentimes students will message me there as well, and see if there's any issues I need to kind of resolve before the start of class. And oftentimes students will ask questions over the course of the evening, so I try to get those resolved as quickly as possible. Then what I do is I take my lesson plan for the day. I usually have it in a Google Doc. And I paste it into the activity feed here so that students have a copy of what we're working on that day. And usually a day starts with a couple of little videos in the 8:15 to kind of 8:30 range, or maybe an article that I want them to read that I want to have a discussion about. Usually these are touching on things like science and society and technology and society kinds of things, so that we can have a little bit of a discussion at our morning check-in in the 8:30 to 8:40 range. Usually after that I have a live lesson. They can run anywhere between 10 and 20 minutes. Sometimes they run a little bit longer. After that, I'll have some students do some practice and check their answers, or I might have them run a simulation in groups or partners or something like that. Okay, we usually check in again before lunch and then break for our lunch break, nutrition break at 10:30. They'll come back, watch a couple more videos to again kind of prompt some discussion. We'll have another live lesson in the afternoon. And then more practice questions, and then we typically end a day with either an assignment or a case study, or most often an exit quiz, just to make sure students had kind of grasped the concepts for that day. So students come down into this playlist here, and they have links to everything we're working on that day. So the videos that we're going to watch, the articles that we're going to read, the simulations. I try to put a link to the practice questions that we're going to work on, and from there I like to have a link to the answers. And a lot of these are care of my wonderful department members who had these all kind of pre-made and ready to go. So I was able to copy a lot of things over from them so students can check their answers as they're working. And then while students are working on these, I'm usually doing attendance. I'm working on contacting students. So if they aren't logged in, I'll be calling home in those moments, and maybe marking some things from the previous day or returning some work from the previous day. And usually there's a few students who need to kind of be brought off to the side to work on things. So we might do like a breakout room to work on a specific problem they might be having on one of the assignments. And then we'll kind of rejoin the group afterwards. And again, just doing a lot of checking in and kind of updating things throughout the day. So that's what a typical day looks like in DLP for me.
My name is Jill Waters. I'm a consultant in the Teaching and Learning Division. One of the things I do is I work with teachers that are working in the SDLP. So as a result, I've got to hear about lots of different teachers' schedules, expectations, and I have a pretty good idea of what a typical day might look like for a student. And that's what I'm going to talk about today. A couple of terms we want to know before we begin. When I talk about synchronous learning, or if your teacher says synchronous learning, what they mean is this is a time when we are learning together at the same time. So this could be a live lesson with your teacher. It could be small group work, but it is a time when we're learning together. The other term we want to know is asynchronous learning. That's when a student will be learning at their own pace. They can structure their time and take their time, revisit things, and learn at their own pace. Most SDLP classes use a combination of the two. Some live synchronous learning where students are learning together at the same time, and opportunities for students to learn asynchronously or at their own pace. So the big question, what does a typical day look like? Well, a typical day will vary based on subject, teacher, grade level, but there are a few key components we can expect. Each day, students should log into the VLE. They should check their class for announcement and news items to see what is happening that day. Additionally, they should check their email. There are important communications that will come to them through their email in the VLE. So each morning when you log in, check for announcements and news items. Check your email. Following that, take a look at your day's agenda. Many teachers will provide an agenda and an order for the day. This will help you to plan and structure your day. Make note of any synchronous meetings or lessons that you need to attend. When are they happening? Where are the links? And what do you need to have prepared? These are all things to keep in mind. There will be opportunities to work independently, and there'll also be opportunities for small group work. Your teacher will be available in a variety of ways to answer your questions. That could be through an office hour. That could be through email. It could be through a Google meeting that you can just drop into. It will vary from teacher to teacher, but they are there to support and help you in your learning opportunities. Additionally, after lunch, you want to kind of go through the same process. Log back into the VLE, check for any new announcements or new news items, any updates, check your email, check for all the things that you need to know. Reread that agenda, and again, join any synchronous meetings or lessons, and take advantage of the opportunities to work independently or small group or with the guidance of your teacher.
Hi, it's Ms. Shortreed again. I'd like to talk to you a little bit about attendance in the program and some tips for how to be successful in online learning. So in the distance learning program, it is crucial that you attend your course every day and participate so you can demonstrate your learning. You attend class in distance learning when you log in, participate in live instruction, talk to your teacher, or complete and submit work. We expect you to log in, that is, arrive to class at 8:30 each morning, and if you're late, log in and join the class as soon as you can. Your teacher will take attendance every school day. If you're marked absent, an auto dialer message will go to your home just as it does for regular school. If you know you will be absent, you will not be able to log in during the regular instructional day. Please have your parent or guardian, or if you're 18 years of age or older, call the distance learning office at the number on the screen, or email at the address on the screen to verify your absence. Either method is fine. So you'll use that distance learning program phone number and email address to report any absences and reasons for absence. Please keep the names of your teachers handy so that you can tell the recording or itemize in the email the name of your teacher and which course you'll be missing. In the meantime, another thing that I'd like to talk about here on this slide is about Chromebooks. If you have any issues with the Chromebook or Brightspace D2L software, let your teacher know as quickly as possible. As the course progresses, we know that at times you may need to be absent, and that teachers and administrators will be as flexible and supportive as we can. We need you to stay in touch and let us know what your challenges are, what's getting in your way, such as Chromebooks, and if you have to be absent, why you can't attend. We want to help you and we want you to be successful. Now, I'd also like to speak for a minute about 5 tips to become a successful online student. We feel like this really captures from an article on Cloud for Good the key things that we've observed through our work in Quadmester 1 on what it means to be successful as an online student. The first thing is to time block your day. Create a daily schedule that allows you to engage in coursework and purposeful practices and tasks every single day. The second is to attend all live video meets. Attend and actively participate in classroom learning activities. Your camera on or off is often a choice that's left up to you, but you can participate in the meet, be there, be involved in the chat, and work collaboratively with others when you're assigned to work on a task together. Feel free to ask questions. If you're experiencing difficulty, don't be afraid to ask for help. Reach out to your teachers, parent, guardian, home support staff, or fellow students to help. Develop a routine. Get up every day like you were going to school. Get dressed, eat breakfast, walk the dog, whatever your normal routine is before you were working in an online environment, and try to replicate that. This will reduce the temptation to stay in bed all day and get to the work too late at night. And finally, create a study space or workspace for you. Even if it's the corner of a room, it will definitely help you increase your productivity and minimize distractions. You should shut off your phone before you begin your online lessons and make sure things like TV and radio and so forth are off as well. And the next thing I'd like to highlight for you is the Pulse app. If you have a smartphone, this is available at the Google Play Store or the iTunes Store, and it is a very useful thing. It will sync with your VLE D2L Brightspace Classroom. Those are all the same thing. And it will, if you enable notifications, it will let you know if your teacher has posted something to the classroom. So we highly recommend that in terms of being successful and staying organized. Now over to Ms. Behrens.
Hi, I'm going to take some time to talk about digital citizenship and our code of conduct and staying connected with your homeschool. So let's start with digital citizenship. We really feel in distance learning especially that digital citizenship is important, and we want all our students to aspire to be good digital citizens. So this refers to our online behaviors, and a good digital citizen is someone who behaves appropriately and responsibly while using digital tools. And that would include things like their Chromebook, their Brightspace VLE, and Google Meets and things like that, and any other online tools they're using within our school board's website and resources to do their learning. So if we go to the next slide, we'll see that we actually have a secondary distance learning program, Digital Code of Conduct for our students, and it really falls into 2 areas, respect and protect. And there's features in each area, but if you think of respecting and protecting, then you're going to be on the right track for digital citizenship. So on the respect side, we have respect yourself, respect others, and before you're posting anything online, follow through, think. And that's a great acronym to help you just do a little self-check before you click that send button or that post button. So is what you're posting true? Is it helpful? Is it important? Or sometimes people say inspiring. Is it necessary, and is it kind? So if you're thinking before you post, then you're likely going to be a better digital citizen. On the other side, the protect side, which is equally as important in this world where we're interacting from our homes often, or in ways where we're interacting with groups of people online, we need to think about protecting ourselves and others. So for protect yourself, it's really important to limit the personal private information you might be sharing online, whether that's in school or other settings. Protect others. If you see something, hear something, observe something online that that's wrong, just like in-person school, you need to report that. Start by reporting to your teacher, and then they will help you connect with the right people to help you or that other person. And then respect property. Chromebooks and other board property that you're using for learning in the physical sense, making sure you're taking care of them. And if they are damaged, contacting your home school to find out about repair or replacement. And also that cyber protection part, right? Which is that you're following the security uses, not downloading things you shouldn't be downloading or accessing restricted pages or programs. So if you're respecting and protecting, then you're following the digital code of conduct and you'll likely be a great digital citizen. I wanted to move on to speak a little bit about connection and how to access supports. So just like when you're learning in person, we want you to start with any questions by contacting your teacher. Your classroom teacher, you're going to develop relationships with them. They're going to know you best, and they're going to know best how to support you. Okay? That classroom teacher, when you bring a concern forward to them, they're going to collaborate with you, your family, your home school to find a solution. And they have access to information about which school you go to, who they should contact in guidance, who your vice principals are, that kind of thing. And any other support you might need, like a student success teacher or a resource teacher at your home school. So they're going to collaborate. And then we'd also ask you, because we all believe that distance learning will end and we'll all eventually be back in our home schools and in our homeschool environments. So we want you to stay connected with your homeschool. You're still a student at your home school, and a great way to stay connected is on the social media feeds. Many schools have Twitters, Instagrams. They have websites where they post information, and you can connect with activities and things that are going on at your home school to feel a part of that. And then in the future, you'll be more ready to go back and integrate with the staff and students there as well.
So we're nearing the end of our assembly, and we have one final video clip that we felt might fit some of the situations we find ourselves in this quadmester. Mr. Miller?
More funny. Baik bola, Mitunya, pasok dito. Okay, bola.
Just like this video, I hope we all have the determination and confidence to keep trying, to accept help, and to celebrate our successes in this new school year. I wish you all the best of luck in your courses, and I remind you that we're here to help you.